Have you ever driven past a truck stop in the dead of winter and wondered how the driver parked there is actually surviving the night, not just enduring it, but sleeping fine? Outside it's 30 degrees Celsius, cold enough to hurt exposed skin in minutes. And yet inside that metal cab, a driver is sleeping under a blanket, not fighting for their life. That gap between what should be happening and what actually is happening is stranger than most people realize. The channel that pulls apart the everyday tools you trust without ever asking why they work the way they do. Let's find out why. Here's something most people never think about. Steel loses heat far faster than the walls of your house. A truck cab with no heat running can drop to outside temperature in well under an hour because metal simply doesn't hold warmth the way wood or insulation does. So the obvious fix seems easy. Just leave the engine running all night. Problem solved. Except it isn't. In most parts of North America, leaving a truck engine idling overnight is actually against the law, a rule built to cut down on emissions and noise near populated areas. Break it, and the fine can run into the thousands. So drivers are stuck with a genuine trap. A cab that loses heat almost as fast as standing outside, and a law that outlaws the easiest way to stop it. Something else had to fill the gap. Tucked into the frame of most long-haul trucks sits a small device most drivers pass every single day without ever noticing it's there. It has its own fuel line running straight to the diesel tank, its own ignition, its own thermostat, and it runs completely independently from the truck's main engine, smaller than a car battery, but doing a job that would otherwise take the entire engine to accomplish. It's called a diesel parking heater, and it works less like a heater and more like a tiny dedicated stove tucked under the cab, burning a small trickle of fuel in a sealed chamber and pushing that heat straight into the cabin, using a fraction of what a full engine would need to do the same job. Compare the numbers, and it's almost funny. A running main engine might burn several liters of diesel every hour just idling for warmth. A parking heater can do the same job on less than half a liter. Over an entire winter, that difference adds up to thousands of dollars saved, which is exactly why these small units have become standard equipment rather than an upgrade. But heating the air is only half the story. The truck itself has to be built to hold on to that heat in the first place. Picture the layout of a sleeper cab for a second. The bunk isn't randomly placed, it sits at the back of the cabin, as far as possible from the doors and windshield, surrounded on more sides by insulated walls than any other part of the truck. That's not an accident. It's the same logic as picking the innermost room of a house to shelter in during a storm. Put the most protected space where the person actually needs to be safest. Modern sleeper cabs also use double-glazed windows and multi-layer door seals that compress tightly shut. The same idea as a well-fitted door sweep keeping drafts out of a house, just engineered for far more brutal conditions. None of this is new technology, it's decades of small refinements stacked on top of each other. Purpose-built for cabs that spend entire winters below freezing weight. It gets even stranger. Here's the part that changes how you see the whole thing. None of this: the small heater, the reinforced door seals, the spare batteries, the anti-gel fuel looks impressive from the outside. There's no visible effort, no dramatic struggle, just a truck sitting still in the snow, looking exactly like it's doing nothing at all. That's actually the whole point. Good engineering is supposed to disappear. You don't notice a well-designed system working, you only notice when it fails. The reason that driver wakes up fine after a night at 30 degrees Celsius isn't luck, and it isn't toughness. It's dozens of small, deliberate decisions made months before winter even started, all quietly doing their job while nobody's watching. It's the same reason you never think about your own front door sealing out a draft, or your car battery surviving a cold morning until the one night it doesn't. Next time you drive past a row of parked trucks, you'll know what's really going on inside. Not a driver gritting their teeth through the cold. Just a small, well-built system, doing exactly what it was designed to do so quietly that it looks like nothing is happening at all.